Yeah, she get a little different, don't it? It get a little bit different when they give you the attention that Caitlin Clark gets on a night in, night out basis. I told y'all. Once they start guarding Paige like they guard Caitlin Clark, and she's still not getting guarded like Caitlin Clark. Caitlin getting guarded full court, most flagrant foul player, all of that.
But how did the media's hand-picked star collapse so fast? And what does this mean for Caitlin Clark's throne as the face of the WNBA?
Paige, it's a little different now, ain't it? You see that triple team? Ever since you dropped 44, the Seattle Storm doubled and tripled you. Now, the Golden State Valkyries saw it work for the Storm, so what did they do? They did the same thing. It ain't that easy no more, huh? It's a lot easier when you don't get treated the way Caitlin Clark gets treated.
Stay tuned, because what you're about to hear might change the way you see the Paige Bueckers hype train forever. For months, the narrative has been spoon-fed to fans like it came straight out of a PR playbook.
Is laced thick with WNBA agenda. And what is that, you may ask? Well, it is the escalation, the elevation of one Paige Bueckers. Oh, she's better than Caitlin Clark. I mean, stab me in the eye with a spoon, for Christ's sakes. Wow. So that's a thing right now.
Paige Bueckers was the chosen one, the so-called heir to Caitlin Clark's throne, the flawless package, poised, efficient, and, according to the headlines, already better than Clark herself. The hype peaked when Paige dropped 44 points against the Los Angeles Sparks. She shot over 80% from the field, and the media went wild.
Fourth game we've seen here. Here's Bueckers, steps into a three. She can't miss. Bueckers, catch and shoot three. Are you kidding?
ESPN and other outlets couldn't stop talking about how polished she looked, how her efficiency already put Clark to shame. Analysts screamed that this was proof she was the future of the league.
Looked like the WNBA is exposed yet again for cheating for Paige Bueckers. Guys, now we know this has been a storyline in itself. That is the WNBA actually not playing fair when it comes to Paige Bueckers. We know ever since Paige Bueckers has been in the league, she's been dominating. Arguably, more than likely, going to win Rookie of the Year by unanimous decision, which is crazy to me because we all remember last year Caitlin Clark could have won unanimously, but it was just one hater in the group, which we still haven't found out who that person is, but I'm still looking.
But here's the problem with hype. It only survives until reality shows up. And in Seattle, reality came dressed in storm green. When the Dallas Wings faced the Seattle Storm, Paige wasn't greeted with open arms. There were no red carpets or soft defenses. Seattle rolled out the traps, the contests, and the physicality that Caitlin Clark has faced every single night of her career. Coach Noel Quinn even said it before tip-off, "Time to see if this princess can handle the Caitlin Clark treatment." Spoiler alert, she couldn't. Paige finished with just 11 points on 2 for 11 shooting. 0 assists, just 2 rebounds.
Paige shot the ball 7 times. She was minus 17 on the floor. She had 0 assists and 11 points. 0 assists. 0 assists. I don't like. That's mental. That's mental for a player that they were trying to say was better than Caitlin Clark.
It was less a stat line and more a sympathy card. From start to finish, she looked overwhelmed, confused, and lost. And here's the fascinating part. While Paige was wilting under a single night of real defensive pressure, Caitlin Clark has been living in that storm for over a year. Clark's reality is nightly double teams, flagrant fouls, and a target on her back. In fact, 17% of all flagrant fouls in the 2024 season were committed against Clark alone.
See, this is why I can't take the league seriously, the WNBA. It's a joke. It's not real. It's not a real sports league. WNBA never gives the full context. They don't want to. They're trying to diminish Caitlin Clark. So look at this. It says Paige Bueckers joins Caitlin Clark as the second rookie in WNBA history to record 500 points, 150 assists, 100 plus rebounds, and 50 plus steals in a season. Great. That's great. They did all that. Wonderful. However, I really want to look up how the WNBA played against Caitlin Clark in terms of the defensive strategy, in terms of the other basketball teams around the WNBA, what they did against Caitlin Clark versus how they've handled Paige this year. Everybody wants to act like Paige is so much better than Caitlin. They're certainly not playing defense on Paige the way they played on Caitlin. They're certainly not attacking her with unnecessary fouls the way they attacked Caitlin with unnecessary fouls last year. So in the 2024 season, there were 35 flagrant fouls called. Caitlin Clark received 17% of the entire season's flagrant fouls, 17%. I mean, we've seen all the injuries. We've seen all the fights, the MMA fights that the WNBA players have gotten into this year. There haven't been 35 flagrant fouls called. And I understand the season is not over, but still.
That's not just basketball. That's open season targeting. Paige got one taste of that treatment and her entire game collapsed. The contrast couldn't be more glaring.
Yeah. You see, it's a little bit different, huh? It's a little bit different out here when you get Caitlin Clark treatment. It ain't so easy peasy getting to play one-on-one, getting to just do your thing how you want to do it, when you want to do it. Paige Bueckers got the Caitlin Clark treatment for one game, and it got ugly. Paige Bueckers just got exposed under the Caitlin Clark treatment. Now listen, I don't want to come off as anti-Paige. I think Paige is nice. We all know I think she the best two guard in the league. Okay, I would take Paige over Kelsey. I would take only two guard I probably wouldn't take Paige over is Sabrina, if you count Sabrina as a shooting guard. If Sabrina is counted as a point guard, I'm taking Paige over any two guard in the league.
Caitlin Clark thrives under punishment. She drains contested threes from 28 feet. She drives through contact. She delivers highlight reels while defenses are literally designed to stop her. And through it all, she elevates her team and her league. Paige, on the other hand, folded. She passed out of doubles, lost her rhythm, and disappeared from the game entirely. The media's favorite stat, her higher shooting percentage compared to Clark, suddenly looked like a complete mirage. Because numbers mean nothing without context.
We know Paige Bueckers played the Seattle Storm last night, and I'm telling you right now, that was the first time ever in her whole WNBA career we've seen them apply major pressure to Paige, and it was so bad everybody's talking about it.
Clark's 41% shooting came while being hacked, blitzed, and targeted like no other rookie in history. Paige's efficient 47% came against soft defenses and open mid-range jumpers. And when that luxury vanished, so did her numbers. Seattle didn't just beat her, they built a blueprint for the rest of the league. Blitz Paige, trap her, body her, test her physicality. And just like that, the myth crumbles. And that's exactly what fans saw.
Paige Bueckers finally got a little sprinkle, just a little sprinkle of what it tastes like, and she couldn't handle it. It was too spicy. She couldn't handle it. Paige Bueckers versus the Seattle Storm was 2 of 7, 1 of 2 from the three-point line, 11 points. She was a minus 17. And you know she get the Asia Wilson whistle. She was 6 of 7 from the line. Without them free throws, Paige Bueckers definitely would only had about 4 or 5 points. And this is how Caitlin Clark gets guarded. You know what Paige Bueckers did every time the blitz came her way? Give up the ball and never look to get it back again. She just gave up.
The next Caitlin Clark didn't look like Clark at all. She looked like another overhyped rookie, gifted a velvet runway by the media, only to trip over it the second someone pulled it away. This wasn't just a bad game. This was an exposure, the kind of night that can redefine a narrative. Because the truth is simple. Paige Bueckers is not Caitlin Clark. She never was. Caitlin Clark has carried an entire league on her shoulders. She took the Indiana Fever from basement dwellers to playoff contenders in 1 year. She smashed attendance records, boosted TV ratings, and turned the WNBA into a cultural phenomenon. Paige? She couldn't even keep the Dallas Wings relevant. Despite being drafted #1 overall, her team finished at the bottom of the standings, nowhere near playoff contention.
But let's take a look at something before we jump into this. This is the 2024 WNBA season. The Indiana Fever had a 20-20 record. That was good enough to make the WNBA playoffs. Paige Bueckers, her Dallas Wings team is 9-27. Well, Rhodes, what is this circle out here? What does that indicate? Let's scroll down. I'm so glad you asked. Eliminated from playoff contention.
The media may have tried to paint Paige as Clark's equal, or even her replacement, but the exposure against Seattle ripped that illusion to pieces. Fans noticed. Social media erupted. The Paige hype machine suddenly looked like a cruel joke. And it wasn't just about numbers. It was about DNA. Clark thrives in chaos. Paige shrinks under it. That's why this moment matters. Because it wasn't just Seattle exposing Paige. It was the WNBA as a whole, realizing you can't manufacture greatness. Caitlin Clark is once in a generation. She's Tiger Woods, Serena Williams, LeBron James. You don't replace that by force-feeding fans a narrative. You either have it or you don't. And Paige? She doesn't. So what do you think? Did the Seattle Storm officially end the Paige Bueckers hype? Was this proof that she was never built for Caitlin Clark's shadow? Or do you believe Paige can bounce back and prove everyone wrong? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We want to hear what side you're on. And if you're still watching, comment CC 100% to let us know you're part of the CC 100% crew. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the biggest stories in women's basketball. Because this isn't just about Paige Bueckers getting exposed. This is about Caitlin Clark proving once again that she stands alone.
So lads, look who's back. Look who's back, lads. Look who's back. Look who is back down the far end of the court. Look who is back jogging through warm-ups. Look who is back at 50% in warm-ups. Good old Caitlin.
Breaking news out of Indiana. Caitlin Clark is finally nearing her long-awaited WNBA comeback. After missing 16 straight games, fans are beginning to see the first real signs of hope.
Well, let's talk about Caitlin Clark. We look like we may actually have some legitimate movement in the direction of Caitlin Clark coming back. Now, let's get to the good stuff. Chloe Peterson, Caitlin Clark is participating in shoot-around this morning, going through warm-ups, then some non-contact drills with the second team. She hasn't officially returned to practice, I'm told, but this is her first time working with the team since her injury.
And with the Indiana Fever's playoff hopes hanging by a thread, this could not come at a more critical time. Tonight, we're breaking down everything you need to know. What happened to Clark, the struggles without her, and why this latest update has Fever fans buzzing about a comeback that could change the entire season.
The breaking news hot off the press. It looked like Caitlin Clark has returned to practice. Now, we know Caitlin Clark has been missing in action for about a month now. Now, she did join the team on this trip here. They kind of released this yesterday on their X account, showing them boarding a plane, and their CC is right there. You know, it's unclear if she's going to play. You know what I'm saying? I do want to say that I don't want to start making theories that she's going to play, but she is there in Minnesota with the team as they get prepared to take on the Minnesota Lynx.
For the past month and a half, the WNBA has been missing its brightest star. Caitlin Clark's season was derailed on July 15th in a game against the Connecticut Sun. With less than 40 seconds left, she dished a perfect bounce pass to Kelsey Mitchell, but then immediately reached for her right groin in pain. She walked gingerly off the court, headbutting the stanchion in frustration. That moment marked her final appearance of the season so far.
Caitlin's
Clark has scored the last 9 points for Indiana. A patented bounce pass. And Caitlin looks like she's in pain after that pass.
The setback couldn't have come at a worse time. Clark was set to captain the All-Star game in Indianapolis, her city, her crowd. Instead, she had to sit out. She missed the three-point contest too. Since then, the numbers tell the story. The Fever have dropped 6 of their last 8 games. They're clinging to the 8th spot in the standings. Without Clark, the record sits at 11-13. With her, they're above 500. That difference is massive. And it's not just about wins and losses. It's about energy, leadership, and belief. Every game she's missed has piled on the pressure, and fans have been left wondering if their season is already slipping away. But now, at last, there's a breakthrough. For the first time in over a month, Caitlin Clark is back on the court with her teammates. On August 24th, she joined the Fever for shoot-around and non-contact drills. She even warmed up with the second unit before the game against Minnesota. This may not sound like much, but for Fever fans, it's everything.
We got our best indication yet that Caitlin Clark is on her way back toward a return for the Indiana Fever. That's because she was seen participating in shoot-around before the Minnesota Lynx game. Now, that doesn't mean she's playing. She's still out for that game, and she hasn't returned to full practice yet, but she is back on the court with her teammates. This coming on the heels of Stephanie White saying she hopes that Clark would return to the lineup before the regular season is out, and that when you see her participating in practice, you will know she's on the way back, while participating in shoot-around is a precursor to returning in practice.
It's the first time she's been able to move and compete alongside teammates since July 15th. The road here hasn't been easy. She battled through a left quad injury earlier in the season.
Caitlin Clark will miss at least 2 weeks with a left quad strain. Wednesday's game at the Mystics will be the first game she's ever missed, college or pro here.
A groin strain in June forced her to miss more time.
New this morning, ESPN is reporting that Caitlin Clark has injured her groin for the second time this season. Clark left last night's game in the final minute, holding back tears after grabbing at her leg. She just returned back to WNBA action after missing 9 games for 2 other leg injuries. Despite the apparent injury, Clark racked up 14 points and made 4 of 14 shots.
And then, in early August, she even tweaked her ankle during an individual workout in Phoenix. Clark herself admitted the frustration on Sue Bird's podcast. She said, "It's not like I have a training camp to build up to play in my first game again. It's like, no, you're tossed into game 30. Like, go try to play well. It's hard, it really is."
I know you want to be out there.
Definitely been hard.
Yeah.
Well, like, I'm gonna go to every road game no matter what, like whether I'm playing or not. Like, and it's hard because obviously I do feel this like responsibility of like being out there and playing, and like, not that I like think there's like a fear of any of this ever going away. Like, that doesn't happen when like LeBron or Steph get hurt. Like, they're always going to be there. Yeah, like, you know, yeah, exactly.
Fans can feel that honesty. They know she's been grinding through pain, and now, finally, the work is starting to pay off. The excitement spread quickly across social media. Fever Nation lit up with hope. Clips of Clark moving at full speed in drills were shared everywhere.
Clark comes back. Yep, I definitely think Caitlin Clark comes back this season. It's many reasons why I think she come back, but me personally, I feel like she comes back because of all the stuff that has been happening with the team, with the drama with the front office. To me, it's almost like they bring her back to save face. You know, they bring her back to save face.
Teammates and coaches spoke about how good it felt just to see her out there again. This isn't just about a player doing light drills. This is about momentum shifting. It's about belief returning to a franchise that desperately needs its leader back. So what comes next? There's still no official timetable for Clark's return. The Fever are cautious. They know the risks of rushing her back too soon, but everything we've seen recently shows she's closer than ever. She's already running the full court with body weight. She's already shooting, cutting, and participating in team activities. The next step will be full contact practice. And once that happens, her comeback will be imminent. For the Fever, her return could be the lifeline that saves their season. When healthy, Clark isn't just good, she's transformative. In 13 games this season, she's averaging 16.5 points, nearly 9 assists, and 5 rebounds. That assist average? Second highest in the entire league. Only Alyssa Thomas has more. Her ability to control pace, create shots, and elevate teammates completely changes Indiana's identity. With her, they don't just compete, they believe they can win. And make no mistake, the Fever need her now more than ever. The playoffs are on the line, and a late season surge could mean everything. Imagine the scene. Clark returning to the floor, shaking off the rust, and carrying the Fever back into playoff contention. That isn't just a comeback story, that's a potential turning point for the entire WNBA season. So here we are, after weeks of silence, after setback, Caitlin Clark is finally nearing her WNBA comeback. The Fever season is still hanging in the balance. The fans are waiting, the league is waiting, and the basketball world is holding its breath. The only question left is this: how soon before the WNBA's brightest star steps back onto the court? If you're still watching, drop Clark comeback in the comments. Let's see how many of you are ready for her return.